What is up, everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation homebrew news and much, much more. So at this point, a number of us have finally confirmed that this Luckfox Pico device is pretty much going to be the ESP32 of the PP Pawn era. And it makes a lot of sense. The device is super cheap. It's very easy to install the software. There's no soldering required unless you want to, and more on that in just a second. But it still leaves a couple of things to be desired. Number one is that the device, has to always be plugged into your Ethernet port on your PlayStation 4, and then typically you would need to have a USB-C cable providing power to it, which means that that device really has a couple of wires and it just kind of hangs outside of the PlayStation 4. The next thing is that there's a number of folks that are maybe thinking, well, I am fine with that, but I'm leaving this bare board out on my PlayStation 4 when it really should be enclosed in something such as a case. Well, I have good news for you if you're looking to answer either of these two questions, and that is that there's been a number of folks already working on it. I've taken a look at their work and just decided that I'd share some of my insights with you. Now, taking a look at the very first question that I posed, there is an option to put the Pico device inside your PlayStation 4 itself. Now, thankfully, a lot of this has already been documented on Reddit. So in this post, there was someone that showed what it looked like inside their PS4 when they decided to take the Luckfox Pico device, as you can see right here, and then embed it inside of the case, and then go ahead and then connect that up directly to the Ethernet port, and then give it a ground and a 5 volt. And that makes it to where every time this PlayStation 4 boots up, it automatically runs the exploit. So you wouldn't have any sort of dangling network cable. You wouldn't have to provide the USB-C cable to give it power. And then that device wouldn't be anywhere outside of the case. Now, they did provide some photos here that I thought was interesting because it shows a little bit more of what was going on behind the scenes. Now, in this image right here, this is obviously the Ethernet port, and as you can see, not all of the pins are needed. Now, I've got a good diagram that I'm going to show you in just a second, but looking through at the rest of these pictures, you can see this is where he soldered onto. This is the Ethernet port on the PlayStation 4 itself, and the wires are then tucked under there. And yeah, there you go. That is what their install looked like. Now, there has been others that have had other ideas on how to do this, such as this post right here, which showed another just alternative place that they added it. So this one, they decided to go directly onto the board itself and then put up some shielding here. And then they just have these very tiny wires that they use to run across the board. So just another idea of how somebody used this. Now, I know you're probably wondering, well, if you solder this on directly to your Ethernet port on your PlayStation 4, does that Ethernet port still function like it normally would? So the author has wrote back saying something like this. And this scenario was basically they wanted to leave their PS4 connected directly to their router so that it had internet access. And the author wrote back saying, if you leave the router cable connected to the Ethernet from the start of the console, it will not be able to perform the jailbreak because the PS4 was trying to access two networks at the same time. However, if you wait for the jailbreak to complete, the Luckfox chip will automatically turn off, and then you can connect the cable and access the internet. So basically, if you do this and would still like to have a hardwired Ethernet connection, you can do so, but you will have to manually plug it in after every single reboot of the console, which makes total sense. Now, if this interests you, there's really, really good news. And that is that there is a full guide that is out now that talks about everything that's needed to do this for your own PlayStation 4. So everything from the required materials, some really nice diagrams that tells you a ton of information, some up close screenshots here, and just a bunch of other information that will help you be successful with this project. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you're going to do this, because I would absolutely love to see yours. And so now to address the second thing, and that is basically that there is some cases that are currently available for the Luckfox Pico. So if you go ahead and you do a search over on something like MakerWorld, you will find that there's a couple of entries that's already in here. So this is one of the very first ones that I saw, and I don't know if you're like me, that absolutely does not look like a design that I am interested in displaying or using right beside my PlayStation 4. So I kept looking around, and what I found was that over here on Thingiverse, I saw this Luckfox Pico case, and it was by aliengaming. And if you don't know who that is, shout out to JP. He runs a great YouTube channel, and he has built these right here. Now, what's really cool about this and about JP with all of this is that he actually will let you download the files and you can print these yourself. And these are super high quality cases for the Luckfox Pico. I absolutely want to get a set of this for myself, and I probably will at some point. And so if you do want to see these in a bit more detail, I would absolutely recommend that you go over and check out his channel. I will provide a link to this in the description below. And I do know that he also sells those on his site, and he has a brand new tutorial where he shows how he did this on his own PlayStation 4. Well, anyways, I think that's about it for right now. Just as a heads up, I am going to be doing some traveling and may not be around as frequently over the next week or so. But anyway, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Michael, out. Bonus clip. What is your very favorite handheld device that you had when you were growing up? Now, mine is obviously this right here, which is the Game Gear. I fell in love with the color screen. This was when the Game Boy was out, and I just remember this battle kind of going between the two. Shout out again to my friend here that did some work on my Game Gear, and now it's back to its beautiful glory. Let's check it out. Beavis and Butthead screams 1990s. Oh yeah, we've got flashcards here. We got flashcards here. Peace out, fam.